Hello, geeks and gamers! It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I'm doing another video for you guys. Now today we are not going to be talking about Star Wars. I know, right? Today we are actually going to be talking about Star Trek. And I've noticed not only in comments here on the videos either that I've done or that Jeremy has done in like the live streams, and also in videos that I've done, like comments that you guys leave about Star Trek. And yeah, there's only been a few of you guys, but that's awesome. You guys like Star Trek. I love Star Trek too. So today we are going to talk about Star Trek, not just like any Star Trek. We are going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery. There haven't been a lot of, I guess, good reviews. I think it's been very mixed reviews on Star Trek Discovery. I actually really enjoyed Star Trek Discovery, and for the people that have reached out to me to talk about it, we've had pretty good conversations. So I wanted to talk to you guys about Star Trek Discovery today. And I know that it's been kind of hesitant for people to watch it, at least from the people that have talked to me, because there's been a lot of SJW stuff in it. And from watching it, there is, but it's not shoved down your throat like it is in the new Star Wars movie. It's actually more subtle, and I really enjoy this new Star Trek Discovery because it's during the Klingon War with the Federation, and it's very interesting, at least to me, to see what people will do in times of war, not just to survive, but to protect others, and just seeing the way that the human mind, and not just the human mind, the way minds of aliens and minds of humans work during that time, and their problem-solving techniques, and the way that they are able to work with one another and rely on one another. It's just that very interesting complex, and I really enjoy that kind of stuff. So watching this new Star Trek, it was kind of hard at first just because of how drastically they changed the Klingons. Now, in the original series, the Klingons, they didn't have the technology or the makeup to do it back then, so it was literally, they just painted people and put some eyebrows, and they were just basically an alien that represented the Russians during the Cold War, and the US was represented by the Federation, and it was that aspect of like, there's going to be war soon. And there's already all this strong tension. So now in Star Trek Discovery, they're really highlighting on that. But instead of, doing what the Next Generation did, which is where the Klingons were obviously humanoid, but they were aliens, but they were close enough to where we could relate to them. Like, all they had, the difference was like the forehead wrinkles, or the ridges, and they had more tempers and sharp teeth, and they were obviously a lot more bigger than humans. But in this, they completely changed the Klingons. They changed the Klingon language, which, I mean, the Klingon language is so popular in the world here that it's actually a language. So they changed that, and they changed the way the Klingons look. And we already knew that the Klingons were different than humans. They had extra organs, they're bigger, they don't have the same like chemical structure that humans do, which of course, because they're aliens. But these Klingons are just, they took everything that Klingons were, and they're like, we're gonna change everything even more. So from a creature design aspect, I can appreciate that because I love creature design, and I thought that it was interesting to see what they did, but they made them so unrelatable that it's kind of hard to get into, and which sucks because, I really, really like the Klingons. I thought that they were a very interesting race, and you really got to grow with them as, all the series went on, not just with Worf, but with B'Elanna, and it's really interesting to see that aspect of like the Klingons in the human world and how it was for them. So seeing the Klingons now during a time of war and how ruthless they are when they actually like don't have to follow the rules that they signed with the treaty with the Federation once the war was ended. So just to see them be that ruthless and all the things that they would do just to get one step ahead of the humans, it's really interesting. So that aspect, I would say, is good. But I'm still tied to the original Klingon, so I'm still getting used to it. But at least I know I am getting used to it. So I'm looking forward to what they're going to do in future seasons. but it did take a while for me to get into them. And I haven't finished the first season just because I'm one of those people that have to binge watch stuff. And I know that when I get to the last episode, it's going to be a cliffhanger and I'm going to be suffering for months, and I don't want to do that to myself. So I stopped on like episode 8 in the middle of the episode. So it's not a cliffhanger, and I really want to know what happens, but I know that my pain right now will just be even worse if I watch it and I finish it. So I'm going to wait, and I will watch it when the next season comes out. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I was really excited when I saw Doug Jones' post about how he signed on for another season. If you guys don't know who Doug Jones is the go-to creature design. He's this tall, skinny actor, and literally every director just knows they can throw some makeup on him and he's going to become a different species. He's going to become that creature that you put him in. And he's an amazing actor, and he does a fantastic job of introducing you to this new character in Star Trek Discovery. And I wish that they would have him in it more. He is in it just enough, but I'm really looking forward to how his character develops. And I think he's going to be one of those characters just kind of like how Spock and Data were. So it's going to be really interesting to see where that goes. Now, another aspect of the new Star Trek Discovery that I love this part. So I love Spock. Spock was my favorite in the originals. I cried and I didn't even get out of bed the day that I found out Leonard Nimoy died, because it just broke my heart, and it still like breaks my heart just to even think that he's gone and I'll never be able to meet him. But one of the things that I really loved was his relationship with his relationship with his father, Sarek. And Sarek was the Vulcan ambassador to Earth. So the way he interacts with humans is very interesting, because he's very cold and standoffish to Spock, but you can tell how much he loves his wife. And then as you watch Star Trek more and you see in the movies, Sarek really does love Spock, even though they have such a strained relationship. And in Star Trek Discovery, you get to see a lot more of Sarek and his constant ongoing inner battle, not just with accepting humanity and emotions, but how he has to go against everything that he was taught on or not everything he was taught, because it's what the teachings is what is helping him accept humans and accept their emotions, but because of the way that Vulcans interpret it is that no, you cannot. So it's seeing that ongoing battle he has, and Spock hasn't been introduced in Star Trek Discovery. So Star Trek Discovery focuses on the main character is Spock's older adopted sister, and she is a human, and her name is Michael. Yeah, I know, her name is Michael. That's one of the ongoing things in it, is that she's got a boy's name. So Sarek and his wife, Amanda, adopted Michael because her family was, I'll let you find out, but she had to be adopted, and her adopted father is Sarek. And to see that relationship that Sarek has, it's always going to be different father and son as compared to father and daughter. And I love my father, so when I'm watching this, I'm thinking about that. And just the relationship that they have, even though it is strained, and she was a human who was raised by Vulcans, so obviously she's going to have some problems when she interacts with humans, because this show is about showing her progression through Starfleet and how she's overcoming things, being that she was raised by Vulcans, so she has the Vulcan knowledge. And just, it's so interesting to see those little mind games that they play, and the way that she's learning to interact with humans, and not just any humans, Starfleet officers, and learning how to deal with emotions basically during times of war, and how she needs to handle it properly to get the results that you need. And it's so interesting. You have to go watch it. If you love Star Trek, I really recommend going out and watching Star Trek Discovery. I mean, you actually don't have to go out. You can just watch it at home. But I'd say watch it. I was skeptical about it, but I really enjoyed it. So I think you should give it a chance if you haven't already. And it does incorporate a lot of, little callbacks to the original series, and then obviously they're not going to do callbacks to the Next Gen or Voyager or DS9 because that's in the future, but it's good. And when stuff like that happens, I got all excited. I was like, oh my gosh, how cool. But it's really interesting. Another thing that I saw that people didn't really like was how it messes with the timeline. But the way I try to look at it is that even in the original series, the timeline gets warped a little bit because of all the different aspects of science that exists in the Star Trek universe, and how if you go past warp 10 and you can go back in time and all that good stuff. If you just think about it that, yes, this can exist in their universe, even though it might not make sense in our universe because they are more advanced than us. Maybe they figured out something that we don't, but for whatever reason, it works in their universe. And I will accept that because, yes, this is a TV show and it's fantasy, even though it's science fiction, it's still in that realm, so I can accept it for that. And yes, of course, it's Star Trek, so there is time travel, but the way that they do it, it's not just thrown in there for no reason. It makes sense, and it's very interesting to see how they handle it. And I think compared to other times that it's been done in other series, it's done very, very well. So yes, if you're skeptical about it, just try not to wrap your head around the science too much, but just accept the Star Trek version of this, because again, this is make-believe. This is Star Trek. So it's done well. That's all I have to say. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that hasn't watched it yet, but they're going places with it, so I'm really hopeful about it. Well, that was my little rant about Star Trek Discovery. I'm really looking forward to the next season, and I'm really looking forward to your guys' feedback on it. I know I don't even think there's been a Star Trek video on this channel yet, so I'm interested to see how you guys react to it. On another note, yes, this is my art in the background. I've noticed you guys' comments, and you guys have asked me about it. You guys have asked Jeremy about it. Yes, I am an artist, and I'm actually doing a bunch of pieces for a horror convention that I'm going to be doing this summer. It's my first convention, which I'm really excited about. And that's why I had the Pennywise. These are not books. These are canvases, and they're paintings. I did Pennywise, and I'm working on Mike Myers from Halloween. And so, yeah, those are my paintings. This is my work behind me. Yeah. On a fun note, I've seen that some of you guys have asked about commissions. Yes, I do take commissions. Right now, I'm actually extremely busy, so I'm not going to have as much time. But if you go over to my page, That Star Wars Girl, and you like and subscribe, once I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a video. And in that video, I'm going to do a giveaway. And whoever gets chosen for this giveaway, I'm going to paint you your favorite fantasy, sci-fi, Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, any character, whatever your favorite character is, I will paint you a portrait of it and I will ship it to your home. So once I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to do that. So if you guys want me to paint you a picture and it's going to be 100% free, I'm going to pay for the materials, I'm going to pay to ship it to wherever in the world you are. Don't worry about that. But once I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to do that. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys like my videos. I hope you guys will support me, support Geeks and Gamers, support Jesse, support Jeremy, support Ethan, support basically everyone that have come together to fight for Star Wars and just for all of us. So I'm glad that you guys are liking these videos, and I'm glad just that it's creating that sense of community, that we cannot be just kicked down and called names just because we have opinions that differ from people in positions of power that shouldn't be. So yeah, there's my little rant on that. And just a last little closing note. Yes, I've seen your guys' questions about if me, Jeremy, and Jesse and Ethan will do a live stream together. I'm completely down for it. We just have to organize our schedules. I've talked to Jeremy. He's interested in doing it as well. We just got to figure out when. And yeah, so we got to talk to Jesse, got to talk to Ethan, and whoever else you guys want in it. I'm completely open to doing something like that. So I'm interested to see where that's going. This video is getting too long and I know you guys don't like it when I talk too much. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want me to talk more about Star Trek, I will. I will also make some more Star Wars videos. But for that, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope the Force is with everyone in whatever is going on in your life, and I hope that just everything is good and you guys continue to live long and prosper. So have a great day, everyone. Bye.